All right, been almost a month since Nikki Haley has dropped out of the presidential race. But as the New York Times points out, Trump has yet to reach out to her voters. Well, now President Biden is making a play for them. His campaign, Rome is saying that's not true, by the way.
True.
Get to Mick. His campaign releasing an ad over the weekend showing that Trump says he didn't essentially need Haley voters. All right, what's going on here, Mick?
I think it's a misnomer to call them Haley voters. Look, she ran a great campaign, finished second. We get all of that. But really, at the end, she became a placeholder for the anti-Trump vote. Some of those people are never coming back to Trump because they were never Trump voters in the first place. Remember, Nikki Haley won in a couple of states that had open primaries. So some of her voters were Democrats who are never coming back to Trump. Trump is not going to reach out to the other folks, the Republicans who might come back and say, oh, your Nikki Haley voters, come back. He's going to do what he's always done and hope they come back. I'm just reading his or watching the speech he's giving right now tonight. He just did a great line, which is, Easter Day was Transgender Visibility Day. November 5th is going to be Christian Visibility Day. That's a really good line for wayward Republicans who are now wondering, do I vote for Trump again or do I go and vote for Biden? So I think Trump is going to do it, but he's going to do it in his own way.
Okay, Donald Trump live in Wisconsin right now. By the way, you were a Nikki Haley supporter. You were in her world. What are you hearing?
Well, no, I think that Mick's right, though, that when there are the independents and Democrats that did vote for her, I don't think there are as many as that people think they were. But I think that Trump's policies probably will win out a lot of the Nikki voters that were.
Yeah, because Nikki's policies, were really Trump's policies. So when you look at the big difference, there really isn't one. And the thing that really bugs me about that headline alone is that it really is a blatant lie. If you get any of Trump's emails from the campaign or the PAC, or just follow him on X or Truth, you would have seen a video he put out right away when Nikki dropped out saying, come to our camp, we welcome you.
All right, turning now to the House, where Speaker Mike Johnson says that if Marjorie Taylor Greene goes through with her threat to oust him, there is a, quote, risk that we end up with Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, Democratic Speaker. Mick, you think that's a real possibility or no? What are you hearing?
Yeah, in an ordinary world, you say there's no chance of this happening. Of course, we long ago left the ordinary world in Washington, D.C. And the way I look at it is this, is when a plane crashes, they usually describe it as saying 15 different things have to go wrong at the same time. For Jeffries to become the Speaker of the House would be a plane crash in the Republican Party. That being said, 10 of those 15 things have pretty much already gone wrong already. So is there a chance? Yeah, I think there probably is. I think the Republicans' biggest advantage right here is the clock. There's only 8 months left until the election. They might be able to hold it together that long.
So you're saying real quick to the Democrats.
Well, no, I just want to say one thing. I know we're jaded, Mick, but how many times did we hear when McCarthy was going to lose that Jeffries?
Listen, whether it's now or whether it's November, we will see a Speaker's Jeffries.
I'll add it's
You think so?
Absolutely. We're going to take back the House.
I wouldn't rule it out because there is. For the first time, I think in a while, we can see how he could become Speaker, either because of a death or a resignation, which Republicans are resigning and handing it over to him, or secondly, that there's a consensus candidate that emerges in some kind of coalition government. I think that's a tiny sliver, but it's real.
Yes,
all right,
yes,
and then,
gentlemen, we'll have Biden winning Florida, and we'll have Speaker Jeffries.
There you go. All right, then there's this, by the way, quote, House Republicans want to rename Dulles after Trump. That's right. A group of Republicans want you to hear, welcome to Trump International Airport. When you come to the Dulles Airport, that's basically outside of Metro D.C. in the Virginia area. Mick, is this real?
Yeah, keep in mind there's more than a couple members of Congress in both parties who think Dulles is really Dallas. So that's the level of sophistication we're working with some of these folks. But no, this will happen when this happens. Republicans will get to name Dulles Airport after Donald Trump as soon as Democrats get to rename O'Hare for Obama. This is never ever going to happen. The days of having bipartisan support, which is what's necessary to do this, are long and they're a long way off again. And I do not see this happening anytime soon.
Hot mic with Mick. Mick, thank you.
By the way, my wife, I could hear my wife yelling at me from upstairs when I just said that. So
we can't hear her, but hello, Mrs. Mulvaney. Thanks for giving us Mick for the hour. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.